Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you a super simple ICT trading strategy. You've probably heard of it. It's called the silver bullet. I'm going to teach you the AM session version. And this strategy is so powerful because it's got an 80% win rate. So it's going to easily help you pass your funded account challenges, get you those payouts, and most importantly, keep you accountable because I'm going to give you a trading plan, which is going to give you all of the steps you need to take in order to mark out and execute A+ setups. Not only that, but in this video, I'm actually going to show you a live recording of a trade that I personally took on my challenge account, which gave me $1,500. So stay tuned, watch this video all the way to the end because you don't want to miss any of it. So let's jump straight into it. And first and foremost, we're going to start off by understanding the core fundamentals of this strategy. Now for that, I've created this silver bullet trade plan checklist. So now all you have to do is go through, check all of these boxes off, and if all of them are checked off, that means you've got an A+ setup. That means you can safely execute and go through with that trade knowing that you've done everything you can in your power. So first and foremost, trading begins at 8 a.m. UK time and ends at 10 a.m. UK time. Now, if you're anywhere else in the world, then configure this to whatever time zone you're in, but I only trade between 8 and 10. That's only 2 hours in the morning. Now, the reason I do this is because that is the optimal time window for the silver bullet strategy. Within this time, if you don't find a setup, you can come back for the PM session. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to find a banger trade, which is going to give you more than enough. First, here's the live clip that I was talking about of the trade that I took on Friday. As you can see, I've recorded my screen to make sure that there was no tampering that could be done. And as we can see, it's a live trade on my 100K top step combine. The TP is right there set at $1,550. And just like that, we've smashed it nice and easy. So this is the trade that we're actually going to break down. So let's jump straight into it. We come onto our charts and then we take our vertical line and place it at the 8 o'clock marker, and then we place it at the 10 o'clock. So now this is our trading time window. Within this time, we're looking for the trades. So let's go back to the checklist. And as we can see, we can tick off the very first box, which says we trade between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. UK time. So we've marked out our trading window. Anything outside of that, we don't worry about. Moving on to the next step, which is to identify structure. Are we bullish or are we bearish? So taking a look at the structure that we've got going on here, we can very clearly see that price is putting in a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows. Therefore, our anticipation going into this AM silver bullet session is that we continue with the higher highs and higher lows, and that is exactly what we want. We want a break of this high, put in a brand new higher high, and then we're anticipating getting in on that higher low. All we're doing is continuing with the trend because, as they say, the trend is your friend. So all we want to do is make sure that we've identified the trend correctly. So now that we've done that, we can now go back to the checklist and tick off that we've identified our structure, and that structure is currently bullish. So now that we understand that we're looking for longs, we can move on to the next part of the checklist, which is to find a 5-minute volume candle that left a fair value gap. So let's jump back onto the charts and I can show you exactly what that means. So if I continue to play price forward, at the moment there is no trade. However, as you can see right there, we have this impulsive volume candle on the 5-minute time frame, which has now left this fair value gap. So now that it's left the fair value gap, what we're now waiting for is for price to continue and break this structure just up ahead, because if it does, then it confirms that we are continuing the bullish structure, and what we want to see is a break above here and a price to come back, tap into this fair value gap, and then continue on from there. So that is essentially the core premise of this strategy. So now if I play price on, we can see that eventually we get another massive volume candle that breaks straight out and gives us that continuation, that break of structure. So now we've ticked everything off. We've identified our structure, we're within our time window, and now we've also identified the fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame from the volume candle, and this fair value gap is now going to be our entry. As we can see, we take our entry on the fair value gap, so we can tick this box off, and we simply target a 1-to-1, or if you're feeling like you can handle the risk, if you're feeling like it's an A++ setup, then you can go for a 1-to-2. Once all of the hard work has been done and you've ticked everything off on the checklist, all you're simply going to do is put your entry at the open of that fair value gap, with our stops just below the most prominent low. So now what this means is that if price goes ahead and breaks below this low, then it is breaking our current trend. At the moment, we are bullish, but if we break below the most prominent higher low, that means price has invalidated that bullish trend and it has now flipped bearish. Therefore, we can no longer look for buying positions because the trend has been invalidated. So if that does happen, we want our stops to be right there so that we can completely get out of the position at the invalidation of that trend. However, what we're expecting is that price comes in, taps this fair value gap, and then runs straight away from there. So all of the hard work has now been done, and all we're simply going to do is wait for price to come, tap us in, and as we can see, we get that super sniper entry, and then from there price runs straight up. And now if we set our take profit, we can see that if it was a 1-to-1, then it would have literally have been hit in 5 minutes. It would have been tapped in, and then the next candle would have hit our take profit. Even if we had held it and we had gone for a 1-to-2, which is all the way up here, we can see that price does in fact hit that too. It is nice and simple. There's not too many different things that you have to worry about with this strategy. Once you get the core understanding of market structure and you realize where you are in terms of your current trend, that's all you really need. You just make sure that you are within your time window, and that's it. It's as simple as that. However, if you are struggling with any of the concepts that I've mentioned in this video, or if you do want to learn more about this trading strategy and dive a little bit deeper, more than the basic stuff that I'm giving you on here, then feel free to click that link down in the description, become part of the community so that you can gain all of the information that I'm trying to teach you. Not only that, but I'll also have a completely free Telegram, which you can also join by clicking that link down in the description. But apart from that, what I'll do is I'll give you another example of a trade that actually played out this morning. Going back to the checklist, let's start off from the very beginning. We have to make sure that we are trading between the times of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. UK time. And then the next step we do is to identify if the structure is bullish or bearish so that we get our bias for the trade. So coming over to the chart, if we go and place a vertical line at 8 o'clock in the morning and then another vertical line at 10 o'clock in the morning, we can now see that we've got our trading window. After that, we're going to identify where we are in terms of our structure. And as we can see, price is creating a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So again, our anticipation is that we are bullish and we're going to continue with the higher highs and higher lows, and we're going to get in on the retracement higher low. So that is what we're expecting when we come into this AM silver bullet. So now what do we want to do next? We want to make sure that we're on the 5-minute chart and we want to see a big volume candle leaving a fair value gap just behind. So let's put a trend line just here so that we know that this is what price needs to break in order for it to continue its trend. And next we want to see a big volume candle exactly like this one. As you can see, this candle actually gave us that break of structure, and not only that, but it also left a fair value gap right behind it. So now this is exactly what we're looking for. This is an A++ setup, because not only did it give us that break of structure, but it also left that inefficiency. So now this is exactly what we're looking for. We're then going to take our entry at the open of that fair value gap. We're going to put our stops just below the low, and we're going to start off by targeting a 1-to-1. So now that we've done all of that, we can go back to our checklist and tick everything off. As we can see, we take our entry on the fair value gap and we target either a 1-to-1, or if you're feeling devious, then a 1-to-2. So once we've ticked everything off, we now know that we've followed our trade plan. We've followed the checklist. We can simply wait for price to come back, tap us in, and go straight to our take profit. As we can see, again, this trade was simply beautiful, tapped us in with literal minimal zero drawdown. The same candle, it literally hit our take profit. Now, had we gone for a 1-to-2, again, it would have been done in the same candle as well. So all this trade took was 5 minutes to go from entry to take profit. It is that simple. All you have to do is identify your structure. You have to make sure that you're trading within your time window, and you have to make sure that you understand a volume, fair value gaps, and all of these concepts. Once you put all of them together, you're going to have this beautiful A+ trading strategy, which if you follow the trade plan, I can guarantee you that you will be a consistently profitable trader. Now, as I mentioned, if you are struggling with any of the concepts that I've spoken about in this video, then feel free to join the community by clicking that link down in the description. But on that note, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But on that note, I'll catch you guys in the next video.